Tyler here, Weekly Metal Reviews with a brand new list. This time, top 10 death metal bands of all time. Albums. Damn. It's been a long day. Anyways, I have 5 things I want to say before I start this. One, this is my list, not yours. I would love to hear your list. Leave a video response, leave a comment, whatever, message me, do whatever. But if there's an album on my list that's not on yours, please don't, be an ass about it. Number 2, the Faceless will not be on this list. I know everybody creams over the Faceless. I don't understand why, but they won't be on my list. Personal opinion, of course, don't take that the wrong way. Number 3, Flesh God Apocalypse will not be on my list. Don't take that the wrong way either. 4, the Black Dahlia Murder will not be on my list. I love them to death, but I don't really consider them a true death metal band. So they won't be on my list as well. And number 5, no deathcore will be on my list. I'm trying to keep this more straight up, more traditional death metal. So yeah. And we already made deathcore videos, so go check them out if you're interested in that. So anyways, I want to give a couple shout outs to Decrepit Birth, Defeated Sanity, Archaic, Cattle Decapitation, Spawn and Possession, and Morbid Angel. They all just narrowly missed my list with some of their albums. So just want to get that out of the way. Number 10, Pierced from Within from Suffocation. Frank Mullen is just a beast. This is one of the most classic death metal albums of all time. One that just really influenced so many people, paved the way for brutal death metal, paved the way for even more, spin-offs, subgenres of death metal. What can I say? This is just a classic. Anyways, number 9, one that might just everybody will be like, huh? Abysmal Dawn with Leveling the Plains of Existence. This album is killer. It has groove, it has songwriting that is phenomenal, it has a great guitar tone, it has some really beefy drums and some absolutely phenomenal vocal work. Rapture Renown, In Service of Time. I can go on about this album. This is one of the first albums I ever really got into. I was so stoked when this album came out back in 2011, and I can't wait for what Abysmal Dawn does in the future. I hope they're continuing and doing stuff. But this album just is phenomenal in every way. It just has some very great songwriting. I know a lot of you might not know who Abysmal Dawn are, or might just not have listened to them, and I strongly encourage you to do so. Check out Program to Consume as well. That's a great album. But personally, I think Leveling the Plain of Existence is better. Number 8, Evisceration Plague by Cannibal Corpse. There's 3 albums on this list that really got me into death metal, and this is one of them. I used to hate Cannibal Corpse with such a fucking passion, like it was crazy, and I don't know why. I just didn't enjoy them at all. I found them to be annoying and bad, really bad. That's when all I listened to was Metallica. I'm a faggot. But anyways, I heard the title track, Evisceration Plague, and I was just floored. Like it was groovy, it was chunky, it had rhythm to it, it was really catchy, and it is just overall a great album. And the title track to me is one of my favorite Cannibal Corpse songs ever, but there's so many other great songs on here. Skewed from Ear to Eye, I believe that's what it is. Cauldron of Hate, Priest of Sodom. Fuck, there's so many good ones. It's not coming to me because I suck. But yeah, I mean, this is a great album to me. When it comes to Cannibal Corpse's latter work from the 2000s, this is the best one by far to me. I like it better than Torture, I like it better than Kill, than the Wretched Spawn, than the Gore Obsessed. Not that they're bad albums. This one's just better to me, with better guitar riffs, better songwriting, and a better vocal performance from Corpse Grinder. Number 7, I had Nihility from Decapitated. Holy shit. And I don't put this on my list just because of Spheres of Madness. Of course, that's, you know, arguably Decapitated's best song. But, you know, the title track is phenomenal. Mother of War, Names, just to name a few off this album. I mean, extremely fantastic songwriting, very different approach to death metal as a whole. I feel that this band takes. They have their own unique style, and it's really hard to put a fingerprint on what they really do. Like, they're technical, but they're not at the same time, and it's just kind of weird. And I feel that's what makes Decapitated great. And this album just goes down as an all-time classic to me. I love Decapitated, their discography as a whole, but this album sticks out the most to me with, like I said, it's fantastic. I don't know, songwriting and just extremely well done guitar and drums, and vocals. Everything about this album is good. We're out of breath. Number 6, this album just came out last year, but I have to put it on my list because it's just way too fucking good, and that is Reign Supreme by Dying Fetus. To me, this blows everything that Dying Fetus has ever done out of the water. This is miles better than Descend into Depravity, than War of Attrition, than Stop at Nothing, than Killing on Adrenaline. Better than anything in their discography, in my opinion. This album is fucking almost flawless, if you ask me. Just insane guitar playing. Not that Dying Fetus has never had that, but it's on here, it's just incredible. The song's subjected to a beating. Like, when John does that, you know, little guitar tapping, that I sound like an idiot, but that blows my mind every time. You know, what is it? From Skin to Skin or something like that. Blood something. Oh fuck, Blood of the Power or something like that. This album's just flawless to me. The riffs, the brutals, the brutality, the slams. Oh my god! I just listen to this album. Number 5, Those Whom the Gods Detest by Nile. I know a lot of you might think, why not Annihilation of the Wicked? And to me, this album, just as a whole, is stronger than Annihilation of the Wicked. I feel that, you know, Annihilation of the Wicked has some of Nile's best songs, such as the title track and, what is it, Cast Down Heretic or something like that. But this album, to me, as a whole, is stronger. Fourth Era of Dagon, I always say it wrong. You know, Utterances of the Crawling Dead, the first Nile song I ever got into. I heard that main riff and I was just like, oh my god, this is incredible. You know, the title track, Those Whom the Gods Detest. You know, just some good shit. Kafir, I believe, and Nile is just so godly. They're so fucking heavy. They're so technical, but they write great songs. They can blow your mind with technicality, but they make it interesting. And just, I feel that the whole kind of Egyptian theme that they've been going for throughout their entire career is just something that really makes them special. I love listening to the little, you know, 2-minute tracks where it's, you know, more Egyptian themed music, you know, none of the crazy metal. You know, just some of the things on here, such as the drumming. The drumming's just out of this world. And Carl Sanders and the other guy, I always forget his name, I apologize, but they have some fantastic guitar playing on here. And as a whole, this album's just stronger to me. It's more memorable to me. Like, more of the tracks stick out to me than Annihilation of the Wicked or any album from Nile's career. Number 4, I had Cosmogenesis from Obscura. I feel like I shouldn't even describe this album because I don't know how to. It's just so fucking phenomenal. I mean, Omnivium is fantastic, but I feel like, just like I was talking about with Those Whom the Gods Detest, I feel this album's stronger as a whole. And, you know, songs such as Incarnated, Anti-Cosmic Overload, Centric Flow, the title track, Universe Momentum. Oh my god, like, the guitar playing, to me, really reminds me of, like, a more technical version of Death and Atheist, or bands in that vein. You know, a lot of melody and harmony that, you know, was pretty much absent from this list. This list is more of, you know, fucking brutality and metal and in your face, you know. Obscura's a little bit more on the technical, more melodic side, and that's what I love about them. Just fantastic songwriting, very unique vocals for death metal. I love this band. This is one band that, you know, if I made a list of bands that I haven't seen that I really want to see the most, Obscura would be on my list. Check out this album. I mean, I know Omnivia might be the most popular one out of their 3 records, but this one's just fantastic. Next, I had The Bleeding from Cannibal Corpse, the only repeat band on this list. Stripped, raped, and strangled, man. Fucked with a knife. She was asking for it. The bleeding. Fuck. This album is so heavy. It's so raw. That's what I love the most about it. I mean, I believe this is the oldest album on my list, and this is just raw. I find myself listening to this album more than Tomb of the Mutilated. I feel that as a whole, this album is better than Tomb of the Mutilated, with just, you know, it's more solid, it has better songwriting, and Chris Barnes has a better vocal performance on this record. Just personal opinion. I love Tomb of the Mutilated to death. It is such a great record, but I feel this one's just better as a whole. And, you know, like I was saying with Evisceration Plague, I got into Evisceration Plague, and then when I went back into Cannibal Corpse's discography, you know, this was the one that hit me the most out of their older records. And it still sticks with me. It's still probably my favorite Cannibal Corpse record out of all of them. And it just has so many classics. I mean, not that Tomb of the Mutilated doesn't, or, you know, Butcher to Birth, that's what it is. Not that those you don't, but this one's just phenomenal in every way. Number 2, Evangelion, however you say it, from Behemoth, the album that got me into death metal as a whole. Holy shit, I heard of Fire in the Void and I was like, this is so fucking heavy. I cannot believe how evil this sounds. This album is evil as fuck. It's one of the most evil sounding records I've ever heard. And to me, I don't see how Demigod is that amazing of an album. While it's good, it blends together so badly to me. And same with the Apostasy. Those albums just blend. This one doesn't blend. You can argue that, you know, Behemoth repeats themselves a lot, and I can see your point, but this album is just so strong. It has the best songs. Alas, the Lord is upon me, or whatever. Lucifer. The first one, I forget what that one's called, fuck me. But that one's great, the first track on the record. This is just an amazing album from start to finish. Nurgle sounds so amazing on this album. To me, he sounds the best that he ever has as a vocalist, and just the riffs. And it's not just because of Fire in the Void, it's because of just how strong this album. I've been saying that a lot throughout this whole thing, but all these albums are just so strong, and this one is the strongest one from Behemoth. I'm so stoked for their new album. And Inferno's drums are just absolutely out of this fucking world on this album. To me, like I said, it's evil, it's metal, it's heavy as fuck, it's just phenomenal. Number 1, you can argue with me all day about this. You know, if you disagree, that's completely cool. If you don't think they're a death metal band, that's cool. If you think they're overrated, that's cool as well. But to me, they're probably one of my most favorite bands, and the band that, you know, really hit me the most out of every death metal band, and that is Death, with The Sound of Perseverance. You can say that this album isn't really a death metal album, that, you know, after, you know, maybe Spiritual Healing, they're not really too much of a death metal band anymore. They're more of a progressive metal band, you know. But I still consider them a death metal band. I don't think they're overrated at all. I feel that they're one of the greatest bands of all time. Personal opinion, of course. But Chuck Schuldiner delivers his best performance on this album through his guitar playing. Has the best instrumental ever, in my opinion. The most bone-chilling one that just gives me chills still to this day, and I've heard it 50,000 fucking times, and that is the Voice of the Soul. That is my most favorite instrumental of all time. And there's just way too many classics on here. Flesh and the Power That It Holds, Spirit Crusher, you know, their cover Painkiller from Judas Priest is phenomenal. It's just, this album is just such a classic, and from start to finish, it is intriguing to me. And I sat down maybe about 2 years ago, and I learned half of this record, half of the tracks on here, and Chuck Schuldiner, you know, just learning what he wrote, the different harmonies that he did, how he did his solos, how he structures some of them, just really taught me a lot about guitar as a whole. To me, this album, you know, like I said, it hit me the most, like, personally, but it also, you know, it taught me a lot because of Chuck Schuldner's guitar playing. To me, also, this is his best vocal performance. His vocals sound a little bit different than past albums on, you know, a little bit different than Human and Symbolic and Individual Thought Patterns and Leprosy and etc. And the guitar, like all these songs, like, yes, they are progressive. I'm not going to deny that. But they're also very death metal to me. That influence is still there. They're still really heavy. They still got those, you know, at times, those fucking nasty, you know, kind of chugs almost. Such as Flesh and the Power That It Holds. You know, later in that song, you know, it's just heavy as fuck with some really slow, like, trots going on. It's just phenomenal. It's just, to me, the guitars on here are, they're some of the best riffs I've ever heard in my life. And this album just really has it all when it comes to a death metal album. It has blistering solos, it has amazing harmonies, it has a fantastic instrumental, it has soaring, screaming, brutal, fucking nasty vocals, ear-shattering vocals, and just some amazing riffs, and some very unique sounding drums. I can't forget that, because that's something that really sticks out about this album. Like I said, if you disagree with me, that's cool. I hope you enjoyed my list. I hope I didn't ramble too much. I feel I sucked balls. Yeah, anyways, let me know your list. Thanks for watching. As always, cool shit coming up.